Hello, scholars. Welcome to this very, very special event. My name is Ms. Trivers, and I'm the leader of Democracy Prep Public Schools. In your classes this month, you've been talking about Latinx or Hispanic heritage and learning about Latinx and Hispanic cultures. It's wonderful when we make connections with each other and learn something new about our friends and our classmates. Today, we're going to keep learning and celebrating Latinx Heritage Month. You'll get to see two very special performances. The first one is a wonderful story, and the last one is a band with a musical performance. You'll also get to talk to some students from a different school than you. It's going to be a very exciting day, so make sure you're doing your best to listen and think about what you see today. Our first special performer is a storyteller whose name is Valentina Ortiz. I'm very excited to hear the wonderful things she'll share with us, and I hope you are too. Thank you, Ms. Ortiz.
Hello, good afternoon, I guess, maybe good morning. It's an amazing honor to be here. And ay, canta y no llores, porque cantando se alegran cielito lindo los corazones. Yes, I am from Mexico, but I know you have been talking about the whole Latin America, which has 20 countries and the islands. It's a big place. So I'm going to go from Mexico. I'm going to jump to a beautiful, beautiful country that I visited a few years ago called Ecuador. And I hope there's a few children that have parents or grandparents that come from Ecuador. And this is a very beautiful story I really love. And it starts with a beautiful flying bird that represents the whole area of the big Andes Mountains. They are in Bolivia, they are in Peru, and they are in Ecuador. And the bird is very, 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 very big. And it is called el cóndor, the condor in English. But let me go backwards. There was once a very beautiful town, and it was in a valley. It was perfect. It had a river. It had fields with quinoa, with corn growing. It had trees with apples, with mangoes, with all kinds of delicious things hanging from there. It was a beautiful, beautiful place. So the big valley, right? And there were beautiful people living there. They were called the Sampayas, and they worked hard. But you see, the land was so wonderful. They had too much food. They had so much food. They would never try and steal from the neighbor. They had so much food that in the evenings, they would dance and they would sing and they would be happy. They did not have any kinds of weapons, no knives, no arrows, no spears, nada de lanzas, nada de nada. Y todo era bonito, beautiful. Next to the valley, there was a mountain. And on that mountain, there were other people. But that mountain, you see, was cold. That mountain was very slanted, so you couldn't really grow much. And the people there, they would hunt and they would eat meat, but sometimes there was no meat, and sometimes they were hungry, and they were not in a good mood. Oh, they were angry people. They were called the caris. And they would like make faces, and you would say, hey, how's your day? They were not happy people. But things were okay. But one day, the earth started to shake. The earth started to make sounds, to rumble, like an angry stomach. And suddenly, wow, there was a big explosion. And from the tip of the mountain came fire. Yes, you guessed it. It was the eruption of a volcano. And the fire came flying out, and then the melted rocks, the lava came dripping down the mountain. And it took the houses of the caris. It took the little bit of quinoa they had. It took the meat that they had. It took everything. And the caris ran, and they hid behind bigger rocks, and they went into caves, and they survived. But many hours later, they came out, And when they saw that destruction, they were very sad. Oh no, what are we going to eat? Where are we going to live? They said. They were so worried. But then they said, okay, we have to solve this. And they looked down and they looked to the valley. And oh, they saw all the food that the Sampaya, their neighbors, had. And they said, I think we should go get some of that food. And they grabbed their spears, sus lanzas y sus flechas, and they went down and they had their angry face on. And the Sampaya said, oh, welcome, welcome. We saw what happened. Here's some food for you. But no, the Caris, they wanted it all. They wanted todo, everything. And so they said to the Sampayas, I want your house, I want your dog, I want your bicycle, I want everything. And the Sampayas didn't know what to do. They couldn't defend themselves. They didn't have weapons. They had never been yelled at. So they just gave everything. And they went to live in the forest and they were cold. And then the guys would eat everything. And they didn't give any food to the Sampayas. And the Sampayas were very skinny and they were weak. And the guys say, you have to work, but we are weak. You have to work. Things were bad. And they all accepted except for one. There was a young boy called Choque. And he said, no, why will I work for somebody else this way? No. Why am I going to give up my house? No. And the guy would beat on Choque. And Choque said, I don't care. So finally, the Sampaya people said, Choque, go into the mountains. They're going to kill you. So Choque did. He went up into the mountains. And he sat at the very tip of the highest mountain, la montaña más alta, y se sentó a ver. And he waited for one day. And he waited for one night. And then he was 2 days without eating, without drinking water, 2 nights, 3 days. And he was very, very weak. And he was about to give up and lay down when suddenly a beautiful bird arrived. A big bird, a very big bird with white on its chest and big gray wings and his beautiful, beautiful way of flying from one side to the other. So beautiful. Yes, you guessed it. It was the great condor. And people in Ecuador really, really know the power of the condor. And the condor came down and stopped right in front of Choque. And he said, Choque, I will help you. The little guy couldn't believe the condor was speaking to him. Yes, the condor said, I am going to help you. And he pulled out a bag of seeds. And he said, Choque, these seeds are going to help your people. Take them, plant them. And a plant is going to grow, a green plant with little white flowers. But listen to me, children, this is very important. He said, the bird said, no te comas la planta. Do not eat the plant. No, plants don't eat the plant. Choque accepted. He said, and then the bird kept on saying, you will get strength from Mother Earth. Put your hands inside the earth and you will find the strength. Sounded strange, but you see, powerful beings like the condor, you don't contradict, you just say yes to everything. And so, Choque grabbed the bag. Oh, and he couldn't resist. He hugged the condor. I mean, a condor talking to you? And he started to walk, bajó la montaña. And he went to his people, straight to them, and said, listen, I have power, I have magic. The condor spoke to me. Here in the bag are the seeds that are going to feed us and are going to make us free and strong again. They all were happy, but they weren't alone there. You see, there was a lot of people there. And there were a few spies, a few Caris there with them. And so they started to plant seeds. And the Cari people, the bad guys, they knew about it. They said, oh, they have powerful medicine there. It's the condor medicine. Oh, we're going to take it. But let them work. Let them make it grow. And the plants started to grow, these beautiful, fluffy plants, very green, dark green, with these tiny little flowers. And once they were big, the Gari people came and said to the Sampayas, cut all of your magic plants, we're taking them. And the Sampayas, no, please, please don't take our conjure magic. Yes, we are taking them. And so the Sampayas obeyed, and they cut all the plants and gave them to the Garis. Oh, the Garis said, oh, we're going to be the strongest in the world. Oh, sí, vamos a ser los más fuertes, van a ver, van a ver. And so that night they made a big, big party, and they all were there. They made like 5 fires with big pots with mucha agua, lots of water. And once it was bubbling, they put the plants in the water. And some salt, of course, and maybe even a little bit of chicken for the taste. And that night, all the Garis, the big warriors, they ate the soup of what they thought was the conjure magic. But yes, you know what happened. They got so sick. Their stomach was hurting. Ay, me duele la panza. And they stayed there forever. In the morning, the Sampaya people arrived and said, oh, ¿qué pasó? They're all dead. Oh, no. Now what are we going to do? But there's no food. And they were crying. And Chokerai said, oh, no, you don't understand. I knew we weren't supposed to eat the plant. The plant is poison. So where is the magic of the condor? Asked the people. And Choque said the exact words. He said, the power is in Mother Earth. We have to dig our hands and we will find the strength. And that's what they did. They started to dig right where the plants were. And guess what they found? Yes, a potato. 1 potato, 2 potatoes, 3, just like your song. So many potatoes. And they were happy and they washed them and then they boiled the potatoes, put a little bit of salt and they ate. Oh, the potatoes were so good. And with those potatoes, the Sampaya people started to be strong again. Because the potato is a magic food. It has protein, it has carbohydrates, it has even vitamins. It's so amazing. And they started to eat those potatoes and stronger. And soon they had their houses again and they had fields again. And well, I guess they had a small army, you know, you never know, you have to protect yourself. And that potato started to go all over the mountains of the Andes. And now in the Andes, there's over 100 kinds of potatoes. And they shared that potato with Mexico, with Europe, with probably even Asia. And that's why in the world we have potatoes. And that is why we have learned that if we put our hands in Mother Earth and receive what she gives us, if we don't forget her, we can become so powerful as the beautiful, beautiful condor pasa. So let's land. Can you all lift your hands? And let's land our hands on our desk because we have just been in Ecuador. And now, before we leave, I want to go back to Mexico just to share a very short story. And actually, it's the story of the sombrero, because this sombrero came from far away. And I don't really have time to tell you the whole story, but I'm going to leave you a little bit of homework. With your teachers, check out where the sombrero came from, because it came from the most amazing place you would never imagine. Yes, it arrived from Spain, but it was made of cloth. And the Mexicans are the ones that decided to weave it. But to Spain, it arrived from very far away with the Berebere people, the Arabs, yes. And those are people from Africa. So really, this hat came from Africa. Baba Jinge, oh, Baba Jinge, Baja, Baja, Yabu Dabu Gebre, Yabu Dabu Geb, Yabu Dabu Geb, Baba Jinge. And this sombrero is used in Veracruz because it's very hot and this protects you from the sun, right? So in Veracruz, there's a song. And in that song, there is a little boy called Colas. And Colas is a nice boy. He wears his hat to school. He works in the fields in the afternoons. And he loves his hat. And he also has a mother. One day, Colas was hungry. But let's say a little piece of the song. Colas, Colas tiene un caballo metido en el corral, que cuando se torna no camina el animal. Colas tiene un caballo metido en el corral, que si lo monta pelo no camina el animal. Colas, Colas, Colas y Colas, lo mucho que te quiero y lo poco que me das. Si quieres, si puedes, si no ya tú verás. Ay, qué bonito baila la mujer de Nicolás. So, this whole song is a story. And it says like this, Colas had a mother. And the mother really liked to joke, okay? And so for this, I need your help. I forgot to ask you. Okay, I can see a few of the children. So I need you to think of the most disgusting thing you can imagine. Asqueroso, gross. Let's say worms with a little bit of hot sauce and some chocolate and a little bit of dirt. And you're about to eat it, okay? Ready to eat worms with chocolate and dust? Okay, I don't know if you would eat it, but I would not. And in Mexico, what we say when something is really gross, we say guacalas. So I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to say guacalas with me, okay? 1, 2, 3, guacalas. 1, 2, 3, guacalas. And after the guacalas, you say, eh. Can you do that? I can't see you, but I'm sure you can do it. 1, 2, 3, and the whole thing is guacalas, okay? So here goes the story. The mother was a joke. She liked to joke a lot. And so Colas came up and said, oh, mama, I'm hungry. Tengo hambre. I want to eat. Answers. The mother said, oh, I will make you a tamal. I'm sure a lot of people, especially in Las Vegas, have eaten tamales. And in New York, also, almost every corner you can find tamal now. It's, you could say, almost like a sandwich or a dumpling. And it has different things inside, right? And it's wrapped in corn. So she said, why don't I make you un tamal de ratón, a mouse tamal? And Colas said, oh no, ready? 1, 2, 3, guacalas. And so the mother said, okay, if you don't want a mouse tamal, oh, I know, why don't I make a tamal with a white flour con alcatraz? And Colas said, no, I don't want un tamal de alcatraz. 1, 2, 3, guacalas. And so the mother, oh, she was a joker. She said, I know what you want. I bet you want un tamal de alacrán, a scorpion tamal. No, mother. 1, 2, 3, guacalas. I do not want un tamal de alacrán. And so the mother said, okay, I know you're hungry. I'll stop joking. If you want un tamal de dulce, which is a tamal, a strawberry tamal, and they're so good, she said, you have to do my dance. And I'm going to teach you that little dance just to say goodbye. It's very easy. First, you say the words, Colas, Colas, Colas y Nicolás. Okay, I'm going to count to 3 and you say them. Teachers, you make sure the kids say that because I can't hear them. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Colas, Colas, Colas y Nicolás. Okay, one last practice. 1, 2, 3. Colas, Colas, Colas y Nicolás. Then you take your make-believe hat. You can put your hand on your head. Up and down and all around. Okay, it's up and down and all around. Okay, you move your hips and your shoulders. Ready? So we're going to practice it once and then we do it together. It's Colas, Colas, Colas y Nicolás. Up and down and all around. Okay? Again, let's practice it once more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Colas, Colas, Colas y Nicolás. Up and down and all around. Okay, ready to do it a little quicker? So, here Here goes. Colas, colas y Nicolás, up and down and all around. Colas, colas, colas y Nicolás, up and down and all around. Colas, colas, colas y Nicolás, up and down and all around. Colas, colas, colas y Nicolás, up and down and all around. Thank you very, very much. I just took you to Ecuador and to Mexico. I hope you enjoyed it. See you real soon, Las Vegas, Nueva York. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ortiz. That was absolutely beautiful. Scholars, hello. My name is Mr. DeRosso. I work in the civics program at Democracy Prep. My goal is to really work with you and your teachers to make sure we're all doing our part to make the world a better place. In a moment, we are going to take some time in our breakout rooms to get to speak to our classmates and to other scholars at Democracy Prep who may go to a different school. Teachers, we're going to be transitioning into breakout rooms momentarily. Before I do that, I just want to give everyone a chance to take a look and see all of the different Democracy Prep scholars who are participating and enjoying the story from Ms. Ortiz. Can you all wave and say hello to one another from wherever you are? Thank you. So you're going to get to speak to some of these other classrooms in just a moment. And so now what we'll be doing is just assigning our classrooms to separate breakout rooms. And when you're in those rooms, I'd like for you to share your favorite part of this storytelling experience. It could be your favorite part of the story, or it could be something you really liked about the way Ms. Ortiz told the story. So in a moment, those breakout rooms will be opened, and then you can hop right in. Teachers will start with just within your own advisories and classrooms, and then I'll send a message to folks for you to pick one person from your classroom to share on the microphone with other classmates in that breakout room.
Okay, I just opened all the rooms.
Thank you so much. We'll see you all soon.
It looks like we have 2 classrooms that still haven't joined yet, or maybe just one. Let's see.
And can you just say that for us one more time, nice and loud and proud? I know my speaker wasn't really working too well. So if you could say it one more time for us, we'd really love that.
We discussed what was our favorite part about the story.
Thank you. And what was your favorite part?
My favorite part is when she said, ew.
When she said you. That was a really, really fun part. And I see the classroom, lots of wonderful hands, and I saw some really great listeners as well. I see Ms. Santana's class, I see a hand up there. Would love to hear from a classmate there before we transition into the next really awesome thing we have for everybody.
Hi, good morning. Mitrell, did you have a question? Go ahead.
My favorite part was when she said up and down.
Cool. Yeah, I think the song part was really fun, and I can see a lot of our classmates enjoyed that. Thank you. And we see another classroom, another scholar has come up. Miss Smalley's class. Mr. Sorry.
Miss Us, go ahead. This is Cody.
Hi, Cody.
Hi. What's your favorite part? My favorite part about the story is just the entire thing because it was just so intriguing and interesting, and I can just picture the story in my head, and I really liked it.
Thank you. That was a really wonderful answer. And I love those beautiful vocabulary words you were using, like intriguing. Another wonderful answer. We had such a wonderful time hearing our storyteller, Miss Ortiz, so we want to thank her again. The next thing we're going to do is now focus on some music. So in just a moment, you all are going to be hearing from Mr. Duran, who is going to introduce our next performer on the video that I'm about to play. This is our Latin jazz journey.
Hello, Democracy Prep family. My name is Brian Duran, and I'm the Arts Education Director at Democracy Prep. I'm thrilled to be introducing some very special guests today who recently visited our East Harlem campus to share their music and teach our community a bit about its lineage from Western and Central Africa all the way to the Caribbean, South America, Central America, New York, and the world. The band leader, Mr. Bobby Sanabria, is a living legend in Latin music. He has performed with virtually every major figure in the history of Latin jazz, including Dizzy Gillespie, Tito Puente, Celia Cruz, and Mongo Santamaria, just to name a few. He has been nominated for numerous Grammy Awards, performed, toured, directed, and presented all over the world, and continues to conduct groundbreaking work as a musician, educator, and activist right here in New York. What you're about to see is a brief snapshot of a larger video about Latin jazz that will be made available for ongoing, year-round study and celebration of the music at Democracy Prep. There will also be opportunities to learn how to perform some of this music through our extracurricular music academy. More details on those opportunities will be shared after the video, but for now, it's my esteemed pleasure to introduce to you the South Bronx's very own native son, Bobby Sanabria and Quinteto H.
Peter's going to play a simple rhythm, the simplest rhythm. Check it out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Notice how I counted it out, but I could also have counted it out like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that initiates what we call polymeters, different counts. It all depends on how you think of it. Let's see if you think of it in a different way when we add the conga drums with tak. Ah, 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 ah. Now Jack on another whole blade is going to add another rhythm. I just doubled it with Jack so you can hear it very clearly. Now Donald is going to add another rhythm. 1, 2, ah. Now I'm going to add this African instrument known as shekere. It's a combination of a maraca and a drum. Now we add the final element, the human voice. Ogundere arere, ile bonbon lukua, okuguanile okegualona, ile bonbon lukua, ogundere arere, ile bonbon lukua. The main rhythm that we inherited from Africa, everybody clap with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. This came directly from West and Central Africa, and you hear it in all forms of music. This was transferred to the snare drum, the bass drum, and the cymbals in New Orleans. For example, this clave beat in everything that you hear today, from rock to funk to hip hop. Get busy, get busy, get busy, get busy, get busy, get busy. In Haiti, they have a style of rhythm, and we know some of you that are watching are of Haitian descent, Afro-Haitian descent. Very infectious rhythm known as compas or compas direct. It sounds like this. So that's a little bit of compa. What do I mean by jazz harmony? Well, right now, Jack is just going to play what we call a C major triad on the piano. Listen how it sounds. Pretty simple, right? And it's pleasant. Now he's going to play C major 7th. Now he's going to play C major 9 with sharp 11. So the chord now sounds fuller and richer, and this is what comes from the jazz attitude that we Puerto Rican musicians inherited from our African American brothers and sisters here in New York City. How could we not?
we just heard so much great music and history from the one and only Bobby Sanabria. And now what I'd love to do is talk to you a little bit about how you can keep that history alive and explore it further through the extracurricular music academy, which meets virtually and in person. And we learn the keyboard together. So this is one of the first things we'll learn on keyboard if you sign up. That's called a chord, a C chord, and a Latin rhythm applied to that C chord would sound something like this. So we take a very simple harmonic structure called a chord, we apply the rhythm that's very common in Latin music to it, and we have what's called a montuno, a keyboard montuno. Right, so if you're interested in that, the information for the Music Academy will be at the end of this video. I hope to hear from you soon. Have a good one. Hello, Democracy Prep family. My name is Brian. Hello, Democracy Prep family.
Good afternoon, scholars. My name is Mr. Scherer. I work with Ms. Trivers, who did the introduction, leading for all DP schools. Just want to thank you so much for joining us today. I also wanted to thank storyteller Valentina Ortiz and our band leader, Bobby Sanabria. Scholars, I hope that you will keep learning about Latinx heritage and other cultures too. It's just been a wonderful time being with you today. Have a good rest of your Friday and have a wonderful weekend, scholars. Thank you.